Every year as a new Madden comes out, we always find that there's been things that are removed. Yes, we get some new things added, but there's always a few things that seem to have gone away. Sometimes they're for good reasons, sometimes they're for no reason at all, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 5 biggest things that I have noticed that will not be returning this year in the Madden NFL series. Now, I did a video like this a couple months ago, kind of speculating on rumors that I have heard and things that, we saw maybe some of the developers hinting at, and most of those turned out to be true. There were a couple that I was a little off about. So for today's video, we're going to go over a definitive 5 big things that were removed from Madden 20. Now, if you are new to the channel and you want to stay up to date on Madden 20 news, specifically Madden 20 gameplay that I'll be dropping in a couple weeks, it'll be exclusive Madden 20 gameplay from EA. You want to make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified when those videos drop. I'll be one of very few people that will be having exclusive Madden 20 gameplay for you in a couple weeks, a few weeks before the game drops. So let's get into today's video. 5 things. So number 1 on the list is one that I've been asked about a lot. I've seen a big uproar over this, probably more than anything else, and that is referees. Yes, referees on field have been removed from Madden 20. You will still see referees in like the cutscenes if an actual penalty happens, when they kind of cut to the ref up close and he's doing his hand motions and saying what the penalty is. You'll still see that, but you will not actually see referees on the field while playing. Now, we didn't see these like in the beta, we didn't see it in any of the early gameplay clips, and everybody's asking like, what's going on with the refs? Me personally, I didn't even notice it because it's just not one of those things I pay attention to. I just like to pay attention to how the game's playing, how the players are moving, so I don't even notice things like that, but everybody else was noticing it. So I reached out to Clint Odenberg, one of the lead guys on the Madden 20 team, and what he told me was that yes, they are removed outside of the penalty calls. He said they looked like crap, they were visual detractors, and we're just not about that anymore. And I could say that with that sentiment, I agree in the fact that they did look like crap. Like, they just kind of stood there. Oftentimes they were kind of just in the way. They weren't really too fluid on the field. Like in other sports games, even other EA sports games, it seems like they have the referees down a lot better in terms of how they move on the field or on a court or whatever may have you. But in Madden, they kind of were just in the way and looked like crap. So I definitely agree with that, but I think what a lot of other people would say was, well, if they look like crap, why don't you just make them look better then? Why just remove them altogether? And what I would assume when it comes to that is that when you're dealing with video games, nothing is actually easy. Like, it's not one of those things like, hey, let's just spend a couple days and make the refs look better. It's probably one of those things that takes a lot of time. So when you have gameplay issues and you need to add depth to some of your modes like franchise, I could see why looking at referees and saying, well, upgrading the referees just isn't high on the priority list right now. So instead of leaving them in the game looking like crap, let's just remove them, and when we have time to really make them better, we'll put them back in the game. But it just kind of depends on which side of the line you fall on there, because some people would rather them just stay in the game and look like crap because to them they just feel like the ref should be there. Other people like myself, I could care less about the referees. Like, same with when it comes to the sidelines and the crowd. I personally don't play the game to look at the sidelines and the crowd and things like that. I'm in the game. I'm trying to score on my opponent, move the ball, or stop my opponent, and that's how I play Madden. I don't really play Madden to just look around and see all the things that look pretty, but other people want that. Other people want to see that, so I understand the frustration, but they will not be in Madden 20. Number 2 on the list is a big one in terms of gameplay, and that is aggressive pass rush. And the coaching adjustments that were brought back, I believe in Madden 18, the coaching adjustments were brought back where you could set your, pass rush to aggressive. You could set your DBs to play the ball aggressively in the air. You could set your tackling to aggressive, things like that. They have removed the aggressive pass rush feature in the coaching adjustments, and this one actually does make a lot of sense because number 1, this was the one coaching adjustment that just never seemed to work properly. It was never balanced. In some formations it would just be almost like unstoppable. There was no counter to it, whereas in other formations you literally could just fake hike every single time and they would jump off sides every single time, which rendered it useless. They just never really seemed to find the correct balance for that. But on top of that, the pass rush for Madden 20 has been totally redone and amped up. So now the pass rush in Madden 20 overall is way more aggressive than it has been in all of the previous Maddens. So the aggressive pass rush coaching adjustment really isn't even needed anymore. If you have a superstar pass rusher on your team, he's going to aggressively rush the passer every time. You're going to get that same kind of, quick pass rush, quick block shedding on most of the downs that you play anyway, so you don't really need that specific adjustment anymore, which didn't ever work the way it was supposed to anyway. So that, I honestly think, is a good thing. If it doesn't work properly and you found a better way to do pass rush, then just get it out of here altogether, and that's what they did. Number 3 on the list. Most of you probably know this one by now. This is probably the biggest thing. Longshot has been removed from the game. We had Longshot 1 in Madden 18, and then we had the follow-up, Longshot 2 Homecoming in Madden 19. This was a love-hate mode in the game. I've seen a lot of people say they love it, and they wanted to see it back this year, and I've seen probably, I would say, more people say that they hated it and they thought it was pointless, and they much rather career mode, which is what we have now in Madden 20. Now, the career mode that we have for Madden 20 being quarterback only, it's kind of an evolution of Longshot in a way. Longshot was, it was a story mode where you were not the character. It was a created character that everybody had to play as. The story was pretty much predetermined. There wasn't many different ways for it to end. You didn't really have a lot of decisions to make that could affect your story. So it really just, the idea of having a story mode is cool, but I don't really think they did it right. Whereas now bringing the career mode back, the face of the franchise career mode with the QB is really what Longshot should have been. It's your own character. There's many choices you can make. There's tons of different ways your story can end or develop. It's not just like 2 or 3 ways for your character to go. Every decision you make can make your character go a number of different ways. There's a number of different teams or rounds you can get drafted in, whereas in Longshot it really wasn't the case. You have the combine, you have college football that you can play. It's really what Longshot should have been. So there was no reason to bring Longshot back now that they were doing face of the franchise. They took kind of the groundwork that they built with Longshot and turned it into a career mode and added more options to it and added more customization and personalization to it. So Longshot being gone really shouldn't, I don't think too many people should be mad about that because we have such a much better version of it anyway now, but that will not be making its return this year. Number 4 on the list is the Huddle Break in the game. So when you call your play, you break the huddle, your quarterback and your team, they walk to the line. It takes them about 8 to 9 seconds to get to the line. They have kind of cut a lot of that out. Now you'll get to the line much faster. And I've seen that this was a love-hate thing as well. A lot of people said, well, this is taking immersion out of the game. I like watching my guys walk up to the line. After playing it, I think most people that have played it think that it was actually a good change and they're glad that they took it out because you do get to the line faster. You can't necessarily snap the ball that much faster. They do make you wait a little bit to snap the ball in order to give the defense at least a decent amount of time. You have 5 seconds to make adjustments. But most people that play the game, right, even if you like the Huddle Break and you like watching them walk up to the line, after a certain point, most people are just spamming, the buttons on their controller to try to get to the line as quick as possible anyway, because after you see them break the huddle, 100 times, it doesn't really do much for you anymore. You're just trying to get into the game and run your plays and be in the action as quick as possible. So I personally think that was a good thing that they removed that from the game, but there are a lot of people that's saying, no, they shouldn't remove it. It should, it's immersive. It's what you see in real life. We should still see it in Madden. You do still get to see him walk up to the line. It's cut in half. It's a lot quicker now. It's not as drawn out. So just kind of depending on which side of the line you fall on, you may like it or you may not like it, but I personally think it was a good change. And number 5 on the list, solo challenges in Ultimate Team have been removed, but they have been replaced with Ultimate Challenges, which is, in a sense, it's a much better version of solo challenges. It's the evolution, and this is actually what it says on EA's site. It says that Ultimate Challenges is the next step in the evolution of what was formerly known as solo challenges. Solos are no more. One of the major adjustments in Ultimate Challenges is a new star-based rewards system. Before you begin an Ultimate Challenge, you will have the ability to choose from 1, 2, or 3 stars. The higher number of stars, the higher the difficulty and intensity of the challenge. If you want a more casual experience, you can select 1 star. Once you begin bumping up the star level, the challenges get more difficult in any number of ways to complete. For this reason, Ultimate Challenges will be replayable. So you can complete an Ultimate Challenge on 1 star to get comfortable with it, then you can work your way up to 3 stars, and the rewards you receive upon completion will reflect the star level you completed the challenge on. And the rewards tied to this are different now as well. It says, now let's talk about how the rewards are granted based on the new star concept. No longer are big time rewards tied to simply winning the last challenge in a given sequence. Instead, you will see a list of milestones where rewards are dished out as you accumulate more stars in a given category. Milestones will have increasing thresholds of star totals, and you will have the opportunity to earn everything from the list as you continue dominating challenges. So the best part about this, honestly, is how they said you don't have to wait till the end to get the best reward. So in typical Madden with Ultimate Team, you might have a new solo string that comes out with a new promo, and you might have 20 solo challenges that could take, you know, anywhere from maybe 1 to 2 hours to complete, depending on how in-depth the challenges are. And you'd have to wait that 2 hours, complete the last challenge, and then you get the big reward, which might be a random 93 overall player from that promo. Well, now with the star system, once you just hit a set of milestones, maybe you have to accumulate 40 stars, and you might be able to do that, you know, through maybe just doing 10 challenges, right? Because there's some bonus challenges as well that give more stars. So you might just have to complete, you know, 10 challenges, and then you can unlock that best reward. So maybe instead of taking 2 hours to unlock the best reward, now it might only take you 30 to 40 minutes, which means for some people, that's the only reason they play those solo challenges. They just want to get to the end and get that big player because it's a free player that otherwise would be expensive on the auction house. Well, now you can cut that time down. If that's all you're playing it for, you can get it a lot quicker and then get out of there. So I think the fact that they did away with solo challenges and now they've done ultimate challenges, which also means you can play them with friends. You can play challenges together and not just by yourself. So calling them solo challenges didn't make sense anymore. So they really just did away with the old system, kind of gave it a facelift, upgraded it, and now we have ultimate challenges instead. So those are the 5 things that were removed from Madden 20. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.